The referee, Pascal Gozer, who handled the Leinster-Munster Interpro derby last season at the Aviva Stadium, just behind the RDS here, and his whistle went 32 times for penalties. 32 penalties in that game.
He got a new one for Christmas, that's all it was.
Gareth Steenson, Irishman, another one on Irish soil, the Ulsterman here from Dungannon, gets the game underway for Exeter. It's actually a third season in European competition for Exeter. Last season they did show more signs of their developing pedigree when reaching the quarter-finals of the Amlin Cup before losing narrowly to Stade Francais. But they're into the big boys wrestling pit now with Giant Haystacks waiting on the far side of the ring, Leinster.
I think Giant Haystacks may have caught that. You give him the big build-up and he drops the ball, Ricard Strauss. Right underneath the post on the 22. Excellent opportunity now. Hayden Thomas back at 9. Gareth Steenson played very, very well in that game against Harlequins. And there's the cup appearances. Bit harsh. Very harsh. But they'll enjoy this, Exeter. What a great story it's been. What a great ride they're having. Good on them.
Well, it's a good scrummage by Exeter. What an excellent start by them. And they've got a free kick.
But Tommy Hayes, I'm sure, will go for another one. He's bound to go for another scrum. He's been quite animated, apparently, this week, was Tommy Hayes, in training and all around and everything.
He was telling me before the game that his brother John, the Bull Hayes, isn't even watching this today. He's doing a book signing. Who would have believed it?
The colouring in. What a great servant he was to Munster Island and the Lions. Oh, see that now. They've had one good hit, because they're adopting this new crouch touch set, and all of a sudden they're off again. So 50-50 in the scrum so far.
Owen Redden to Leo Cullen back after injury. Sexton outside, and already Leinster looking for width and sweeping the ball onto the flanks. And Andrew Conway. Ricard Strauss does catch this one.
No hands!
In goes Redden to Sexton. Owen Redden losing his place in the Irish team these days to Conor Murray, and Sexton sees the space. And Leinster up quickly there through Andrew Conway. Hayden Thomas scrum half for the Chiefs. And they're going to use the front row here in the meantime. Resplendent in their Charisse shirts today, especially for this first Heineken Cup game, and they've already sold out in the Exeter shop back at Sandy Park. Off goes Madigan. He made some great runs last week against Munster in that victory at the Aviva. Here's Shane Jennings. What a good game he had in that match. And off goes McFadden, and that pumping handoff again. We saw it last week in the derby, and we're seeing it again already here. Redden whipping it away to Sexton, and now it's Jamie Heaslett. Big blind side for Leinster to maybe explore, and it's Ian Whitten, the Ulsterman, who gets his hands on the ball, getting in front of O'Driscoll there. And now Hayden Thomas clears.
Whitten does very well, and that's a good little roaming box kick from Hayden Thomas, relieving some pressure. And both teams want to keep this on the park. Exeter's chance now.
Steenson finds Arscott. Luke Arscott, of course, his brother Tom plays for London Welsh.
Playing very well for London Welsh.
Tom Johnson, capped on the summer tour to South Africa by England 3 times. Not releasing on the floor though, Exeter, and the penalty here to Leinster. Tough pull this, of course. Scarlets away next for Leinster, then Clermont in Volcano country, followed by the Dublin rematch in the head-to-heads. And Leinster and Joe Schmidt, of course, beat Clermont in the semis in Bordeaux last season, a match they might have lost.
Yes, there's the mastermind behind those back-to-back Heineken Cup victories. He's made Leinster roar, really, in the short time that he's been in Dublin. But that all came back. We've got from an Owen Redding tap, and I just love the way Leinster backs just hit it at pace, and then they drag the ball back. They drag the ball back. all the time. Off they go. They want to keep this ball alive. And look at the alignment now. Off it goes with this. Cullen pulling the ball back. Pull it back. Pull it back. We've got a problem in the Premiership at the moment. Players getting very, very flat on it and overrunning the ball. That's what they just want to play with width, but that's a good break from McFadden, and then Whitten intercepts. It's been a cracking game this is so far, only 4 minutes gone.
Tougher pool than last year for Leinster potentially. Bath, Montpellier and Glasgow. All three of Leinster's away pool games were tight and did include a draw against Montpellier in their opening round game, and it took a late penalty from Johnny Sexton to secure that draw. How will they get on in the opening round today? Remember, as champions, when they first won the Heineken, they lost their opening round game in defence here against London Irish.
Exeter doing very well to bring that potential threat down.
Here's O'Driscoll. He's going to be a big threat all through this game. Another man who played well last week against Munster. Scored a try, the decisive try in that game. Now Sexton, and they're building the pressure here. Are Leinster through Cian Healy now. Sexton, and trying to find a little tunnel ball there, and he's given the ball away, and here's Oscar, nobody outside him. He did look, and he checked well and offloaded brilliantly to Schumark. Scored of 2 tries against Quins last weekend. Excellent stuff. He didn't panic. Now Tom Johnson, big ball carrier for Exeter, thundering one up for the men in pink, but Damien Brown gathers the loose ball on the floor. Now Mike Ross to Heaslip. Can he get outside his man? Does well. The Israel-born Lions number 8. O'Driscoll to Jennings.
These players are sucking the oxygen out of the stadium at the moment. It's non-stop.
Huge pace in this game, and off goes Healy, that pacey prop forward. Redden, and now McFadden to Sexton. Standing one out this time was Sexton. Madigan to Nathewa. And Pascal Gozer holds the arm out, so an advantage here to Leinster. And O'Driscoll puts in the kick for Conway to chase, and Conway was closing in, but they'll come back for that penalty.
Brilliant start, kick to nothing there. The penalty was coming, it's given, it's a full-arm penalty. Should be 3 points for Sexton. But both sides intent on just keeping this ball well. You can see the way Exeter are defending. They're rushing up. They're trying to cut out any passes that Sexton's doing. Look at that. They're all up there, then indecision from Sexton, and all of a sudden Exeter on the attack. Ascot taking the ball up. And just watch Nathewa. That's a deliberate trip. That is a deliberate trip, and that is a yellow card. Well, actually, a deliberate trip is a red card, but it's a bit harsh to a red. He's lucky to get away with that.
Oh, yes, indeed.
It's a yellow card.
Absolutely.
It's not red, it's yellow.
Ethan Nathewa, 30 years of age now, started all 3 of those Heineken Cup final wins. Irish Player of the Year in 2011. He's made the Celtic Dream Team a couple of times, but as a fullback, not as a winger. But the pace of this game, I mean, Exeter are known for their fitness, but they're going to need decompression chambers after this one, aren't they?
Well, they won't stop. They won't stop for 80 minutes. They won't be doing like Ulster did. Played for 42 minutes, had a half-an-hour rest, and played for the last 2 minutes of the game. These boys will keep going, and that's the way they want to develop their game. They fix things out on the pitch. If they make mistakes, they fix them.
Johnny Sexton fixes his gaze on those posts. 76% success rate this season in the league games he's played in. Has been rested under the Irish player management scheme. Oh, it tried to come back. There's not much breeze out there to help it. And, well, not a typical miss there at all by Sexton. Normally pretty deadly. Sexton carrying a little bit of an arm injury that he picked up a couple of weeks ago. Forced him to leave the pitch, but arm injury shouldn't affect your kicking. And, well, that was a bad miss by Sexton.
No Ruben Toulé, is he? That was banana-shaped.
And here's Redden. Ian Madigan. Sexton. And off goes O'Driscoll after this one. And up there goes Ian Whitten, and it's Tom Hayes who gets it back to his tight head, Carl Rimmer.
Okay, no corner offside.
The referee has blown his penalty, though, for a pretty obvious looking offside there.
And that was a little bit, I would say, bad communication from Witten. Witten was coming back on the ball. You should always leave the guy coming forward to claim it and call for it. First rule you learn from playing rugby: if you're in the back three, it's easier to come onto the ball than actually retreat. So Sexton's got another chance. Lisbon-born lad, you see there, it's 14. He's coming back into it. The call wasn't there from Steenson. And that's the difference, you see. Bad communication, and Sexton's got another chance of 3 points. We'll see how he strikes this ball.
It is difficult not to grasp the ball, though, when it bounces into your hands, even if you are coming back in an offside position, as Tommy Hayes was there. Oh, Johnny Sexton having, by his standards, butchered the last kick. With another opportunity here. 54 points he scored in Heineken Cup finals, Johnny Sexton, including a couple of tries. Remember that comeback against Northampton. He really dominated the second half in that final, and has he found the target this time? He has. That's more like it from Sexton, and less Leinster, the champions, take the lead.
Much better from Sexton. Just calm everything down before the restart now, and off they go again. Steenson go for distance on this one. Coming towards us now.
Keeping Ignacio Mieres out of the Exeter team last week on this, and off goes Nathewa. Rather fortunate to be on the pitch at the moment after that trip. Eagle-eyed Dowie Morris picking it up. The referee didn't, neither did his officials.
What about the TMO? Obviously not.
Here's Sexton then. Oh, Driscoll outside to Nathewa and flipping it beyond the Fiji international.
Yeah, Brian O'Driscoll playing life on the wing. I see the majority of last season he was injured, wasn't he? And then played on the tour. Such a talismanic figure. I know it's a word that's overused, but he is. And if he's right and he wants it, he'll be on another Lions tour. Just not looking there in the Nathewa, and fixing the man in front. Ball goes out, it's just in front. So Exeter chance now for regrouping, a chance to impose their line out, and I'd probably like to take this ball off the top and see what they can do in the midfield.
There's Rob Baxter, the exceptional coach of Exeter. His brother Richard, of course, playing number 8 on the field today. And Rob Baxter, I was talking to him before the game, and he said, you know, Exeter were going to go out here, and to use the Irish expression, really give it a lash against this Leinster side, not be intimidated, but really get stuck in. Here's Steenson, the shoe mark. And Leinster trying to hold them up off the ground there. Advantage going the Exeter way. Skaysbrook gets it outside him to Olcott. In comes Thomas. Still advantage being played here as Steenson looks outside him to Dolman, and now Schumark. Steenson. Arscott coming into the line. Skaysbrook, good hands from Skaysbrook, but the referee says no advantage accruing, so they come back to the mark. And Steenson looks like he's going to have a go at the posts here, just looking around him for a little bit of final guidance.
Yeah, he's been frustrated. Mieres has been playing very well in those first 6 games. Well, the first games obviously, didn't play in the 6th against Harlequins. Victory set them off very well against Sale. Absolutely humped Sale with 6 tries, and then they've had a few wobbles. Lost to London Welsh away and into the Tigers' lair at Welford Road, but again they're still learning. That victory against Harlequins, and it did score 5 tries, but they also conceded 3, so there is plenty of work to do on the defence.
About 1,200 Exeter Chiefs fans are here. Can you spot them?
It's the village people, isn't it? It's your favourite.
Here's a young man trying to make his mark on this game. Gareth Steenson and the Ulsterman as he... Oh no, he's drifted it wide.
He's following Sexton. He missed the first one, kicked the second one. Normally very good. Normally strikes the ball. He didn't strike it quite cleanly, but not accurately. And he's not at it.
So Sexton with the restart. Schumark is the man underneath that. He gets hammered. He's did well. Hayden Thomas. James Hanks now. Here's Steenson. And Baxter. Richard Baxter playing his 412th game for Exeter today. Made his debut against Fylde, would you believe, 1997. Hard to believe from his perspective that it's come to this, a Heineken Cup appearance against the European champions. But penalty to Leinster.
Holding on the ball. I said 1997, that does make you feel old. But again, a tremendous servant to the club. And just the fizz has gone out of the game a little bit, isn't it? Those stopping for kicking for goal, and both sides have sort of regrouped a little bit. A few penalties creeping into the game, but Richard Baxter, he was outstanding last week against Harlequins. Him and Tom Johnson, I think, is their best performances so far. James Scaysbrook, who's been my Premiership 7, didn't play last week, so when these guys are firing, they are pretty formidable. And you've got to say, is there a better 8 at the moment on current form in the Premiership than that man? Even his brother was singing his praises after the game last week, and Rob isn't normally that vociferous about his young bro. But he'll take their front five. Their front five have to get parity today if those three are going to roam around the field.
Now Redden, Sexton, Heaslip. Redden, and then comes Madigan. Kevin McLaughlin takes it on. And off goes Rickard Strauss, and he's got Conway outside him. He's not a pace for the hooker as Rickard Strauss. And Exeter almost managing to pinch that one away.
It's absolutely great watching Leinster, how they set themselves up. There's almost 2 pods in the midfield, and all of a sudden they're not frightened to do something different. Rickard Strauss was in that first pod, he saw something was on the blind side. Just watch this now, takes it up there, 1 against 2, obviously tries to put it in from the winger coming in off the wing, didn't quite read it. Excellent play from the hooker. There you go, round the corner, and just ride the tackle. Conway just a little bit too slow to pick it up. And Exeter doing well there. Hayden Thomas, as ever, sweeping round as a scrum half, being that guy at the back, clearing things up.
Now qualified for Ireland, Rickard Strauss was involved in the 2-day Irish training camp at Carton House a couple of weeks ago, and Exeter come away with the ball at scrum time. Baxter, Thomas to Steenson. Now Dolman. Madigan's underneath it. What are the options here? Not too many, and he gets hauled to ground by Matt Jess. Here's Redden, O'Driscoll inside the big Damien Brown, former Connacht and Bree second row forward, and not releasing on the floor by 5 blue Damien Brown. Penalty to Exeter.
There's one for each side now, not releasing, because both sides want to play with quick ball. It's the key element. And obviously defending side's so crucial and so good at getting and snaffling that ball, just to give them 2-3 seconds to slow it up. Because Leinster are dangerous. And they get that presentation right, off it goes, forwards carrying the ball, backs cutting angles, and this is one against the head. You don't often see that in the modern day. Scrum half putting the ball in into the second row's feet. Well done, Exeter. That's good from Brett Sturges, bearing in mind that Craig Mitchell is injured and Huani Tui, so he's probably third, will I be right? Third choice tight head is Carl Rimmer. Yeah.
Simon Alcott to throw. Was that straight? Scaysbrook gets his hand to the ball. Thomas to Steenson. Jason Schumark, the New Zealander. The centre partner is Phil Dolman. Skaysbrook, former Bath flanker. Now here's Ian Whitten, and good tackle by Nathewa. Thomas, Carl Rimmer, good dummy. And Cian Healy bought that. Steenson once more, and Tom Johnson. Now Jason Schumark. They're certainly showing that willingness to move the ball. Exeter. A lot of pink shirts on this side of the pitch, and James Hanks takes it on.
And look at the defence from Leinster. They're so comfortable just watching what Exeter have got to offer.
Skaysbrook, Whitten, good hands. And here is Alcott now. Defence carried out by Ian Madigan. Ian Whitten. We're going to get a few reverberations of the tomahawk chop if this goes on for much longer from the 1,200 Exeter fans here today. And now Whitten again in bold, looking for the cute little offload, and Exeter still have it here. And they're playing some good rugby. And Leinster holding them up off the ground, trying that choke tackle. Here's Schumark.
Nathewa read that one straight in, stopped the man dead.
Baxter. Well, they certainly are not leaving the queue in the rack, are they? This Exeter side, they're giving it everything they have out there, as they said they would. Skaysbrook. Steenson, and here's one for, well, no one's really chasing it, but the bounce might work out, and Madigan flaps the ball away out of play. It looked like he did that maybe on purpose.
Well, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt, because if he did it deliberately, it's a penalty. It's got to be a 5-metre scrum.
Time off.
The referee's
here we
calling
go.
time off.
Daniel, tu m'entends? J'ai un doute sur le fait que le ballon est rentré par qui il est rentré dans la lutte pour la reprise du jeu. I have a doubt about.
Yeah, he wants Daniel Irazuki to have a look at that.
What did he ask there?
I was hoping you'd translate that literally.
If only I'd paid attention at school
Donne-moi la reprise du
instead
jeu.
of attention or detention.
Well, was this on purpose, Dowie?
Well, he's going back in there. All of a sudden, there's pressure from Matt Jess, and if it's a deliberate, well, yeah, even if it's a dead ball, if it's deliberate, it's got to be a penalty. Is this deliberate? Well, you could say it's accidental because, well, he's done a good job to hide it then.
Accidental, but he sort of knew what he was doing, sort of thing.
Over to the TMO.
Yeah. No one really had chased that or hunted that kick down. It was a very, very difficult ball for the fullback to deal with. TMO certainly taking plenty of time over this decision.
Ouais. But donc il y a renvoi 22 mètres, on est d'accord? 22, okay?
Oh, he's gone for the 22
Well,
dropout.
22.
Actually, he shouldn't be going to the TMO. It's just for the active scoring. It's a bit of old school. Obviously, in the Premiership, it's changed slightly. So actually, our French referee and TMO should not be doing that.
Of course, there's different TMO directives being used in the Aviva Premiership, as are being applied here in the Heineken Cup. And that's taken by Tom Johnson. Skaysbrook, and a good offload there to Baxter. Here's Steenson. Arscott now to Schumark, and Kevin McLaughlin makes the tackle. Steenson. And they're enjoying a lot of ball in hand so far, are Exeter. And Leinster points on that ball. Leo Cullen finds his scrum half. Here's McFadden. No Gordon Darcy at the moment, out with a rib injury. Cian Healy. Sexton, Kevin McLaughlin trucks it up. And now here's Leo Cullen, and that looked surely forward. It was. Referee was right on the spot.
Watch the hands. If the hands go forward, invariably the ball will go forward. If the hands go back, the ball goes back. That's the directive referees have been asked to follow this year. Leo Cullen, the wide outsides. But again, they're very happy, aren't they, Leinster, just watching Exeter tackle and take the ball up. They just tackle Exeter all the time. Here it goes. This is the big second row. Yeah, you can see even from this angle, it's gone forward.
Well, they've always been a very good side, Leinster, haven't they, Dowie, of absorbing what the opposition throw at them.
And that is the mark of a good side. You saw sort of Leicester Tigers against struggling Sale last Friday night at Salford, and they're just quite easy. They want the opposition to make mistakes.
Thomas, Steenson, O'Driscoll, such a brilliant defender, keeping close eyes on that. Across comes O'Driscoll and puts one of the tackles in there on Ian Whitten, but Exeter still have it through Matt Jess, their top scorer in the Premiership this season. But great work by Shane Jennings. And then McFadden chips the ball through, but Steenson is sweeping.
Go back, fight pink, go back.
Now Madigan. This is Andrew Conway. He's carried off on a stretcher last week, but has amazingly recovered from a nasty stinger injury. Alcott wrestling for the ball on the floor. And it's big Mike Ross showing all that tight head pace. And here's Cullen, the forwards enjoying themselves here. He's lip and balled as well. Tom Johnson makes the tackle. Redden, Cian Healy, of course, they've got a tremendously mobile front row, have Leinster, but they have given away another penalty here. And Pascal Gazer does have a reputation for being very, very sharp on the whistle.
You're saying 6 was this Kevin McLaughlin going off his feet on top of the ball, sort of sealing off. Healy thinks down there injured, but again, Heaslip should have let that ball go through to O'Driscoll. Should have let that ball go. There was good movement. You had people out. You pass the ball and you can support. This is great from the big tight head. Look at this. Mike Ross, not only pretty outstanding in the scrum, he's outstanding in the loose now. Leo Cullen pull it back, and then that goes to O'Driscoll. You got McFadden outside, you got Jennings there, and then obviously you can then add your support to it. But this is great to see the big fella. The modern day prop.
Face of determination too from Mike Ross.
That's Cian Healy getting dumped, but I think he's all right. I can't see him on the floor now. He's up.
Last season, well, Leinster matched Leicester as the only sides to have won back-to-back Heineken Cups. The Dubliners collecting their 3rd European trophy, and this season going for that unprecedented hat-trick and a chance to join Toulouse as winners of 4 Heineken Cups, the true current superpowers at this level, but not building the sort of platform they might have expected or hoped for in the first 26 minutes here.
Well, 2 years ago, wasn't it? It was the game of 2 halves against Northampton Saints, and they came back into that one brilliantly. And actually, last year, I think they took the game away from Ulster, almost from the first minute to the 80th. So they're the all-round side. They're pretty good.
Baxter took that ball in the line-out. Now here's Tommy Hayes.
That's fine.
Another long blast from Pascal Gazer. He also blew Ospreys and Saracens off the pitch in a Heineken Cup game I was commentating on last season. It was all very frustrating.
He's actually probably refereeing to the laws, because you see so many referees allow people to hold on to the ball, to flop on the ball, to seal the ball off, and this is the problem with them, is the inconsistency. People want quick ball penalties conceded, 5 to Exeter, just 2 to Leinster, so she shows that Exeter have had more ball, but Leinster are pretty good.
I think the problem is we were hoping today. It may still happen for a psychedelic explosion of tries from these two.
42-38 was my prediction. Only joking. But it's when it's set up for this. Both sides will, but they're just sort of staring each other out at the moment, aren't they? Two good sides, two good packs of forwards, two good sets of backs. They will ignite, I'm sure.
Yes, giant haystacks have found they're up against Big Daddy at the moment. And here's Brian O'Driscoll, here's Madigan, he's all that pace, of course, an exciting runner. Normally an out half in this Leinster side, Johnny Sexton's understudy. Heaslip outside to Sexton. Here's McFadden. And Hanks makes a good tackle.
No hands,
Nathewa to Mike Ross. Another run from Ross, not quite as explosive as the last one. Rickard Strauss. Sexton. And Shane Jennings crashing into contact. The tackle from Skaysbrook. Heaslip. And beginning now to turn the screw maybe a little bit. And as I say that, Cian Healy knocks the ball on.
Commentator's curse again, but you can see Mike Ross is not comfortable playing at 10. He wants to play on the wing as well. But that is what you need from your prop forwards. They've got to do the basics first. They've got to get in the scrum. They've got to lift in the line-outs. But when they're on, they're going to give an option in the loose, and those two can do it. Cian Healy, we all know about his carrying game. But Mike Ross wants to join the party. Wow.
Well, latest score in this pool at the Stade Marcel Michelin. Jonathan Davis has scored a try for the Scarlets. Remember their wonderful victory against Toulouse a few years back. Are they going to do something similar at Clermont Auvergne? And Clermont have not lost. I think it's 41 matches now at that stadium since they were last defeated.
Number 2.
So it's on for the Scarlets, and that's available on the red button.
Be aware, you don't want to annoy Clermont at home by going in front. You don't mind doing it in the last minute. Not with 3/4 of the game to go.
Yeah, score late, very late.
You've been there, I've been there. It's a magnificent place to go and play rugby.
And try and get on the bus before they find you.
Good on the Scarlets.
You win down there. Doesn't happen that often.
Eskew will be happy with that.
As will Mr. Evans, won't he?
Yes, indeed.
You say a long way to go, and a scrummage here to Exeter. So Baxter picks up. In goes Tom Johnson to help him. Steenson. Now Conway to Madigan. Issa Nathewa. Brian O'Driscoll is outside him, then he goes on the switch. Does O'Driscoll. Now McFadden. He's really strong in possession as Fergus McFadden. He keeps those legs driving. And through there comes Schumark, and Witten has possession advantage here to Exeter. And back they will come.
Hayden Thomas was offside anyway from that kick, so the referee bringing him back. That was good. They got isolated a little bit. All the forwards have got their pods and the systems work out in the midfield. One thing they forgot, the ball. And McFadden, he's pumped up a bit, isn't he? He's had a good, looks like he's had a good off-season. And then, honestly, there's just two guys there, and Exeter counter it very, very well. That's the drive. And all of a sudden, O'Driscoll's over the ball. Skaysbrook's in again, you see. Takes the man off, and they drive over the ball. Good turnover.
He's 14 caps now, Fergus McFadden, and played all 3 tests, started all 3 tests on that tour of New Zealand in the summer, scoring a try in the first one. And with Owen O'Malley out and Gordon Darcy injured as well, a real chance to make a stamp here.
I rate him. I think he's a very good centre. He's a good combination, him and O'Driscoll. So he's just shown his strength. He's got good pace as well. He's got a good step, good distribution.
It's another good scrummage. Steenson, Dolman, Matt Jess. No, he's strong as well, isn't he, Matt Jess? And he's shown that in the Premiership since Exeter arrived at that level. Tom Johnson. Real late developer, Tom Johnson, certainly in terms of international rugby.
No.
Here he is again. And Leinster attempting to meet him as close to the gain line as they can. Another penalty, not rolling away, and it's Mike Ross who's penalised.
Interested to see how Exeter are playing this game. They're not just going one pod out, next pod out, they're actually going back against the grain as well. Steenson with the wind is with Steenson here, but they do attack. Go one way right with one pod, then back up the blind side with another. Tom Johnson crucial in that. It's the speed of delivery. Here they go, hit in. There's Johnson straight in between two guys, and then the pace. And watch out, the guys on the left-hand side, right as you watch, have just stayed there. It makes Leinster then attack the defensive line. So that's good, and it come back again, and this is where they win the penalty.
Well, they're developing their European pedigree, aren't they? Exeter got to the quarter-finals of the Amlin Cup before losing narrowly to Stade Francais last season. They also have a win over Perpignan to their name, but this is a whole new ball game, and whatever light zephyr of a breeze there is on the tail of Gareth Steenson. It's a good strike from Steenson. It sounded good, but the direction not quite what he desired.
Talking of the different ball game, what happened over the road the other night, or last night?
The Republic of Ireland 1, Germany 6.
There was a few glum faces in our hotel when we got in about 12:30 last night.
There were.
Very glum.
Tony Kroos with 2 and Marco Reus with 2 for the Germans. They only had eight shots, you know, Germany. 6 goals. That's what you call precision. And Madigan. Good run from Madigan. Good offload. Cullen there. Really in the veteran stage now is Leo Cullen. But he's been captain in all of those Heineken Cup final wins, the big second row.
The crowd don't like that because Tom Johnson went off the ball. Tommy Hayes is saying they're going down on the ball, sealing it off. I don't know how Tom Johnson wasn't penalised. Quite interesting because he did fly over top of that ruck, whether he was trying to take somebody out or got pushed. Happened so quickly. Skaisbrook's at the bottom of things as usual. Here you go, see Leo Cullen goes in, Skaisbrook tackles him. Mike Ross takes him over. Yeah, so that's fair enough. Referee, great decision, correct decision. Crowd didn't see it, didn't like it.
Just looking at the pool that Leinster are in and Exeter, it's a tough pool. But remember the one they were in 2 seasons ago, Leinster, Racing, Saracens and Clermont-Auvergne. And Leinster really moved through that pool with ease. 24 points they accumulated. They won that pool by 5 points. They were so dominant.
Well, it toughens you up for the quarters and the semis, doesn't it? You know, you come out of a hard pool. You know, people prefer easier games. Well, they don't. There's no easy games really now in this Heineken Cup.
Kevin McLaughlin finds McFadden.
As Munster found out in the wet of Paris that they got a crucial bonus point. Ulster got that crucial bonus point at home last night. And Mr. Whistle is continuing in the middle.
Pascal the Peeper.
You weren't too happy when you saw him as referee, were you?
No.
He has form.
History.
He has history.
So Saxton finds a decent position here for Leinster.
Right, we could do with a try now, couldn't we? Just before half-time. The boys in blue, the crowd are calling for it. Can they deliver?
Leinster have the back-to-back middle rounds against their old foes Clermont. Should be interesting as McLaughlin takes that line out now. McFadden again using that little shimmy of the feet in midfield, just getting himself half a metre. Here's O'Driscoll.
He actually carried too well in McFadden, and the forwards had to stop, and now Exeter on attack.
They might go here, and Leinster committing themselves defensively through Conway, pushing up. Is it going to bounce for Exeter this time. No, it's not. Well played by Andrew Conway, the youngster on the wing. Redden, Sexton. Here's O'Driscoll, and James Hanks gets in the way and now grasps it as well. Good work by the lock forward. He really is putting in the hard yards out there as James Hanks.
You watch when he gets into the midfield, whether it's Johnson sometimes or Skaisbrook, it's just that quick little pop. Get the ball a little bit wider.
Thomas Steenson. Again, lots of pink shirts out here. Dolman. And on the switch is Whitten. Steenson in behind a Jason Schumark. And now it's Brett Sturgis. But they all seem so comfortable with the ball in hand, don't they? Backs and forwards of Exeter. And now it's Alcott who takes it on.
And Carl Rimmer's impressed me. Ex-Pirate. He's looking for work all the time, as Mike Ross is on the other side.
Baxter carried that ball into contact, and Hayden Thomas sniping away. But Exeter have done extremely well in this first half. Now, can they finish it with a try? Tom Johnson. Really bullish back row forward, isn't he? Alcott. Accelerating off the mark, the hooker. Into the contact. I think he's caused some damage there too. There's a Leinsterman down on his back as Rimmer gets it wide, and then Johnson, and then a whistle. Forward pass. But an excellent passage of play again by Exeter, retaining possession so comfortably.
They're a good side. Like I said at the top, they want to be a great side. It's games like this, and they can come away with a victory here because they're in this game. My word, are they in it? They're taking the game, they're taking the fight to Leinster. I know Leinster are comfortable with the defensive patterns at the moment. But this is sapping. You can just see forwards quite comfortable passing the ball out. That was given forward. I am sorry. I need your bifocals, I think, Robert, but I tell you what, that is not forward. That is a shocking decision. Brett Sturgis up the wing. I'm not saying he scored would have scored a try. Or was that the forward pass? If it was the Rimmer pass, it did look a bit forward. But Johnson's pass to the other prop, Sturgis was not. If only I could speak French.
Do you know the French for, would you like to borrow Robbo's bifocals? Look at that possession in the last 10 minutes, and there's proof of what we were talking about. 65 to 35 for the Chiefs.
Welcome to the Heineken Cup, Exeter.
Okay, is it mark, James?
First 40, pretty good. Very much. Steenson's missed 2 kicks as well. They could be in the lead.
When Leinster as champions lost that game against London Irish here, it was back in 2009-10 season. 12 points to 9. It was a low scorer, that one. And look at the drive from Exeter.
Yes. It is the correct decision. They've gone up. And when Reddin's playing, oh, it's my penalty. Most scrum halves do that. Hayden Thomas just calmed down. The Chiefs are happy. The Braves are happy. And Steenson should line this up to go in all square at half-time.
Well, they started with such a fizz in this game, Leinster, as you would expect from the confident defending champions. But talking to Joe Schmidt before the game, and he was saying that the build-up to this match for Leinster has been rather jumbled. They haven't had much continuity in terms of player selection due to injuries and the Irish player management scheme. So they haven't quite had the run-in that they would have hoped for. And maybe it's showing. So Steenson, can he hit the mark this time? Oh yes, he can, and he squares things up for Exeter. And with 20 seconds to go to the break here, well, Exeter have really produced in this first half.
When you talk about all those injuries, you look at this bench that Exeter possessed. Nakalavuki, he can do some damage, as Exeter scrum is doing some damage to Leinster there. You've got Amires, well, he's in form. Dean Munn, 33 caps for Australia. Al Mundowney, big presence in the line-out. They've got guys to come on that can make a difference. We could have big turn up here.
In goes Alcott with McFadden, who's been extremely combative in this first half as Fergus McFadden. But you could also apply the same words to Exeter, extremely combative and more. They've shown exceptional skill at times too, and their retention of the ball has been absolutely excellent. And Leinster are being shocked in this first half just a little bit. Remember though, Exeter coming here full of confidence, beating Harlequins last week, but Leinster, the 3 times European champions, have a lot of work, a big dollop of work to do in the second half. Well, Exeter really in this game, big style. What a day historically this could be for them on their first Heineken Cup fixture, if they can kick on to victory against the 3 times champions Leinster on their home patch. And it's maybe on for them, Dowie.
It is, and they don't have to do much more, really. Again, they came into this game scoring 5 tries against Harlequins, and yeah, to the manner born, I'd have to say. So it's all about Leinster. How can they come back into this game? Because they have been a little bit sterile, to say the least.
As you said, as Will Greenwood said at half-time, they look comfortable in this environment, on this stage.
And like I said,
high. Referee Pascal Gozer has the arm out, so he is about to give his 17th penalty of the match. This is Steenson, Tom Johnson.
He's going over there to come back for the high tackle. I'm thinking it was a high tackle, so yes, the pressure will build a little bit on Leinster. A good start from Exeter. As I said, they won't leave anything out on the pitch. They're not a team that will kick for territory and play a stats-based game. They will carry this ball.
James Hanks there, caught high by the skipper Leo Cullen, 34 years of age now, and here's a little statement from Steenson, putting the ball into the corner. He would have been kicking for the post from a long way, from a wide angle, into the wind, but interesting nevertheless.
No, sensible call, get his forwards, get their teeth into it a bit more. And like I said, they made loads of meters in that last game, and that's their philosophy. Keep the ball, get everyone comfortable with it. And when you get your opportunity, put more pressure and squeeze the opposition. Exactly what they're going to do with this line-up now.
There's James Hanks, and the ball goes though to Tommy Hayes. Never seem to get injured, the Hayes boys, do they? John Hayes almost went through his career without injury. Must be the milk and Capamore, the farmers' boys from Munster. And this is Munster-style mauling from Exeter.
They breed him tough there, it's good. They've set the line out. Now Leinster have come back at him a bit. Watch out for Matt Jess on this bottom, on the left wing here. Is this going to be the kick pass? Well, no, he's going to truck it up a little bit first.
Schumark does that job. In comes Hayden Thomas, running into the guard. Fergus McFadden was there with the hit. Baxter. Taken on by Alcott. Fergus McFadden's 9th tackle of this game. Again, Matt Jess on this side is coiled, it would seem. Is he eventually going to get, as Dowie says, that kick pass delivered to him? But yet again, they're going through the forwards here. Now Steenson to Schumark. Max coming into play. Steenson, Hanks, massive big lump of a man. James Hanks in the side today, ahead of the new signing Dean Munn. Now Steenson to Schumark. And now here's Arscott, and Luke Arscott looks to get outside that Leinster defence. Ian Whitten releases the ball, and now Alcott, and Exeter building those phases and continuing to look comfortable.
Back in field, back at the blind side. And into the arms of the Leinster defender. They did pretty well again, Leinster. It's good play from Exeter. They're holding onto the ball, using their props. Alcott driving the hooker. Rimmer Sturgis using the big lads. But again, it's comfortable at the moment. There's the Leinster at 83 to 57. That's the carrying game that Exeter bring to the party.
Sexton with the kick for the champions. Remember the final this season, and just across the way at the Aviva Stadium, the Chiefs team wearing black armbands today for the Exeter prop Chris Budgeon, whose wife has lost twins prematurely, and that after 14 years of IVF treatment, an horrific family tragedy. And look at this from Exeter again, and the confidence you feel is ramping up as well here, increasing all the time. They've really grown into this game. Schumark hit by Heaslett, big hit by Heaslett, double teamed in fact, and driven back, but yet again they retain the possession. Rimmer has the ball ripped away. Now McFadden. Little knock on there, was there? There was.
Leinster are creaking. I give them the big up before the kick-off. They're flattering to deceive at the moment. They're not getting it all their own way. They've been asked questions. Exeter carrying the ball. Joe Schmidt's under a bit of pressure. He's communicating with his on-field marshals. Things need fixing. They need some ball. They need some quick ball. Schumark taking up. He'll do that all day though, the Kiwi centre. That's no problem.
He's very heavily involved as the front row been in carrying the ball out there today. Alcott, Rimmer and Sturgis, free kick, and Hayden Thomas is away here. Not from the mark.
That's good refereeing.
Monsieur Le Pipe.
That's pedantic refereeing. I think the crowd thought Hayden Thomas had made a little bit of a knock on. Leinster weren't back 10 anyway, and they decided to go for a scrum. Calm things down, go for a scrum. They've been pretty powerful in that area. There he goes. He went straight down, didn't he? But there's no way he slipped back 10.
Well, Exeter really fancying this challenge today, and you would think they'll fancy a chunk of Clermont Auvergne at Sandy Park next weekend as well. Scarlets, the opposition in those back-to-back fixtures for Exeter Chiefs. And another blast from Monsieur goes there, a penalty to Leinster.
There's the big lads in their corn today.
Well, Exeter qualifying for the Heineken Cup, finished 5th in the Aviva last season, not too far away from a playoff spot, were they in the Premiership last season, 8th in their first season, and at the moment they're 6th after that staggering buffeting of Harlequins last weekend under the control of that man Rob Baxter and Ali Heifer, who played out half for Northampton in a Heineken Cup final away back in the year 2000. Well, it's loose and it's picked up by Whitten. Thomas, Johnson, Alcott, Johnny Sexton. Good work by the 10 for Leinster. But again, the Chiefs retain the possession, and it's Gareth Steenson caught by Shane Jennings.
I think that message has got on from Joe Schmidt, isn't it? They've got up the ante, they're going to be more aggressive in the tackle area, put pressure on Exeter, and that's exactly what Leinster are doing. Different team, they've gone up a gear.
Got to get hold of the ball at some stage, though. And Exeter continuing this second half the way they finished the first, with most of the ball.
Yeah, they're jumping off the line, putting pressure on Exeter, so they'll force them to kick the ball.
Steenson. This is Madigan. Runs into Carl Rimmer. Good defence by the tight head. Now it's Leo Cullen. Redden. Cian Healy. Redden again. It's Jimmy Heaslett. Utilising the blind side there. Trying to suck in this Exeter side. Leo Cullen, and then the offload to Heaslip, and that's more like the Leinster we're used to seeing. Owen Redden, Leo Cullen. Here's Johnny Sexton. Shane Jennings looks for that offload inside. A little bit of a power play this from Leinster as they try to increase the pace of this game.
That's the word, pace. They haven't put pace on it really for the first half, and for 8 minutes of the second half, all of a sudden they're trying to do that.
Redden to Sexton. Brian O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll inside for Sexton, and there's a knock forward here, and Exeter will get the put in to the scrum.
Well, Johnny Sexton's appealing to the touch judge, but I think the pass would have gone forward from O'Driscoll to Sexton anyway. He's appealing that he was held back, tackled before the ball, shakes his head. You can see O'Driscoll there going forward. That would have had to gone forward. And it's that big man, Tom Hayes, making the crucial tackle, just getting his arm in. So no, he's allowed a tackle there, put into the scrum from Exeter.
Interesting statistic, Leinster have only won in round one once since 2008, and that was at home here to Racing in 2010. But since London Irish won here 12-9 in that famous reverse in October 2009, Leinster have lost just 4 games in any competition at this venue, and 3 of those were at the hands of the Ospreys. As Alex said at half-time, Leinster unbeaten in 15 games in the Heineken Cup, the best run ever. But they're wobbling a little bit here.
They are, the crowd are trying to lift them. Big scrum coming up. Can they put pressure on Exeter? Exeter's been pretty good in this department. Steenson's calling the shots to Hayden Thomas. He knows exactly where he wants this ball. Schumacher's talking to Steenson. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid.
Pick up by Baxter. 15 years in an Exeter shirt, although his first time in a pink one. Skaysbrook. Steenson. Up comes McFadden. Steenson succeeds in getting it away. Here's Nathewa. Madigan.
Go back, Blue.
Steenson takes. R. Scott. Familiar step from the fullback. Now Whitten.
Stop.
Into the open spaces and succeeds in giving the ball back to Leinster and Ian Madigan. This is Matt Jess. Up comes Madigan and Conway.
Go back, go back, go back.
And Jess gives the ball straight back to a Leinster shirt, Owen Redden. Now Rickard Strauss, this powerful running, manoeuvrable hooker. Advantage to Leinster. O'Driscoll to Nathewa.
There's an advantage coming, but I thought Strauss knocked the ball on.
McLaughlin gets smashed. Now Sexton to Heaslip. Leinster beginning to evolve in this game, and back they will come for the penalty infringement. A tackle without the ball, says the referee.
Tackle without the ball, but I'm sure Rickard Strauss dropped the ball going in. Was that before? Tackle without the ball was before Strauss got it. You obviously think it was. There's Strauss going forward. There's Skaysbrook James. That's gone forward. Well, it's definitely gone forward. And the ref hasn't got his arm out, so that's forward. Sorry, we've got a touch judge over there. You've got a referee on there. Make the right decision.
Ripped away by Brett Sturgis. Again, good work from the loose head.
What does your bifocal say? Would you have given that forward?
Well, replacement comes on for Leinster, Heineke van der Merwe, the South African, and Damien Brown has gone off as well, and on comes Devon Toner. Devon plays against the men from Devon, and Sexton tries to put Leinster into the lead here. 6'11" of Devon Toner. Bit of chewing going on. And you can stop the nail biting. Sexton to the rescue, and Leinster in the lead.
Lucky. I don't think that should have been awarded. Should have gone for a scrimmage, but anyway, the referee's made the decision. Exeter now have to come back, put that to the back of their mind, and Leinster are making a few, like I said, changes. Devon Toner's presence in the lineup may give them an advantage there.
Leinster defence may get tested soon because Cirelli Nakalavuki is on. Very powerful centre. It goes on Scott. Takes it well. Under a lot of pressure there from Madigan. On not rolling away. Leinster penalised. Penalty to Exeter, and Will Chudley is on as well, the replacement scrum half.
We started the season well, Chudley. And this will go into the corner. Nakalavuki, we want to get his hands on the ball, but you need to get him in the right area at the right time. He scored a tremendous try against Harlequins. I think he must have beaten the whole team almost, because he's such a powerful guy. There's Chudley. Communication with his back line now. Needs something special.
Yes, Nakalavuki drove his way through 4 or 5 despairing Harlequins tackles last week and scoring one of those tries.
It's one of those, isn't it? You know it's coming, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, Leinster losing a couple of lineouts in this game. It's normally one of their strengths. Of course, they're strong all across the park in all facets of play, and they do lead here. But huge credit must go to Exeter for the way they've performed. This is all caught.
You see Jamie Heaslip just crabbing around the side, and it's finally come down to the floor. Very well done, very experienced, number 8.
Some aggressive work there by Leo Cullen. Now aggressive work from Cirelli Nakalavuki. 18 stones of centre. Skaysbrook. Johnson. He's a real go-to man around the corner, isn't he, Tom Johnson, for Exeter? And Leinster have turned this one over.
Not this time. They did so well from that line out, drove Nakalavuki into the middle, and Tom Johnson, normally very good, just not securing that ball, and it's given chance now with the wind behind him for Sexton to put an almighty punt. Wow.
Oh, what a belter. What a belter.
That's what happens. One mistake, wind behind. Thank you very much. Almost 22 to 22.
Bit of nitroglycerine in the boot there of Johnny Sexton from somewhere. Will he be the Lions out half, I wonder?
2-2.
Taken by McLaughlin. Very crisp line out that one by Leinster, more like it. And here's the crabbing drive. Well set, Jennings. Tommy Hayes is working hard in there, but they've given away the penalty. Exeter.
That's their reward. It's exactly what they wanted to do. Catch and drive, force Exeter to give a penalty away. And Sexton will come up for this one. Nudge another 3 points. Trying to take the game away now from Exeter to force them to play more. Again, with this slight wind advantage with them, that's what will happen. There you go. McLaughlin getting up their toners on, so they haven't gone to the big man. They've gone to the guy that roams up and down the line out, secure the ball. Ball secured right at the back. Exeter going offside. You can see Tommy Hayes going around there. He's got to come straight through the middle. You can't come round the side. Penalty given. And over to Jonathan Sexton.
They're doing a bit of grinding now, Leinster. We haven't seen the pyrotechnics today from the home team. But what they want more than anything else on day one of the Heineken is a victory in this, what promises to be very, very tight and competitive pool. Oh, and Johnny Sexton, he's pulled another one. He missed his first kick of the game, and he put the ball in a similar place, similar direction.
Six pink.
John O'Gibbs was screwing his eyes up there. He couldn't quite believe what he was seeing, and it stays 6-3.
Okay.
He's hiding.
We
now.
can see you. He's a big man.
Peekaboo.
But again, he's done a good job with the forwards.
On comes Dean Mumm, 33 caps for the Wallabies. Big name signing for the Exeter Chiefs. Taken by Conway.
None, the New South Wales legend.
Let's talk of Brian O'Driscoll maybe going to the Waratahs for a season when he finishes here. Michael Cheika, of course, is the incoming coach there. Now it's Johnny Sexton, that famous Leinster Sexton wraparound. And now they're beginning to impose themselves. And off goes Redden, and he's so close to the touchline there. He did his best to keep the ball in play.
He did, snipes around the side, but just runs out of space. But again, you mentioned it, Mark, it's this trademark, isn't it? It's just straight through, and then they show and go. And it isn't quite gone that time. That's the first time really Leinster looked to cut loose. No space there, Nakalavuki covering the blind side. Well, you're not going to get through him or around him in that space. Well, definitely not through him.
Well, Clermont now well ahead of the Scarlets, as Dowie said in the first half. They shouldn't have irritated them by taking an early lead. 37-16.
Never pull the lion's tail or poke the bear with a stick.
The cockerel's feathers in this case. So some defence to be carried out by Exeter. Richard Baxter taking it up. There's Chudley.
Use it!
And Chudley clears.
Right, they need to work things out now, Exeter. They're still massively in this game. 20 minutes to go. Leinster just building it. They're just getting a bit of quick ball. Tommy Hayes needs to gather his troops. He needs to get up the other end firstly and hold on to the ball. See one mistake, Tom Johnson, boom. Put yourself under pressure.
Well, Leinster have won their last 11 home games in this competition. The only home defeat in the last 23 was that one to London Irish. And nicked Chudley to Ian Whitten. Now Nakalavuki, 18 stone, takes on O'Driscoll. All that experience. Chudley. Steenson. Sturgis finds Skaysbrook. Former Bath man, played in a couple of Challenge Cup finals off the bench for Bath. So he's got a reasonable amount of European experience, unlike a lot of his teammates. What's the phrase to the manor born? Dolman, Nakalavuki, O'Driscoll hits him and then bounces off the massive barrel chest of the Fijian. Tom Hayes pops it out to Alcott.
He doesn't shirk his work, does he, Brian O'Driscoll? That's 2 hits on the big Fijian. He's come off slightly worse both times, but you would. And he does put his body on the line for the cause.
120 caps for Ireland now, Brian O'Driscoll.
There you go, he's seen him coming. And even when he's seen him coming, lines him up. The Fijian still goes forward.
He won't have met many bigger opponents, O'Driscoll, than Nakalavuki.
Not centres, anyway.
No.
Again, like we've said many, many times, great player, but he's almost like an extra flanker. Over the ball, snaffles it out, bridges and then most of the time wins it back.
One try short of Vincent Clerc's record of 32. And wouldn't the Ireland captain love to sneak one today to see off this tremendous Exeter challenge? It would be very typical if he did so. Dolman runs into Sexton. In comes Heaslip. Chudley goes in behind Issa Nathewa.
Yeah, good kick from Chudley. You can see it's all well and good carrying the ball sometimes, but sometimes you have to put it on the toe. Nathewa had a turn and then they've made a gain of about 10-15 metres, but more crucially, you've got a line-out throw now so they can build something again. Last two they've actually caught and driven. At Leinster them pretty well. He slipped it, and particularly coming around the side and dragging it down. What do they fancy doing? Cut the line out, it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five-man line out. Nakalavuki's in the centre.
Would set us up for a very juicy climax if Exeter could score a try here. Goes to Hanks. Baxter. In comes Alcott to clear out.
But again, slow ball.
Chudley, Nakalavuki. Shane Jennings does his flankers work in there. Baxter takes it on, getting Exeter onto the front foot. Skaysbrook, Chudley.
Move! Use it!
Nakalavuki, that's what he contributes. Baxter. And again, going through those phases, Exeter. And then getting a penalty. Well, they can square things up here now. Oh, and that's a nasty, nasty cut for Heineke van der Merwe.
17, wait.
Well, how did that happen? Accidentally, one would hope.
Well, I think it did. The referee was right there. I don't think it's probably his first cut. Normally, when you get a lot of blood, it's... Yeah, I think he needs something on that, actually. A bit more than a Vaseline cut. But you've got a chance now for Exeter. As the South African gets patched up.
Well, it's a bad cut, that's for sure, for Van der Merwe. But Gareth Steenson now get back to the sharp edge of the action as a chance to put Exeter back on terms here.
Yeah, you can see Leo Cullen shouting at his troops in the wrong area of the field. And they deserve this if this goes over. I still love to get Nakalavuki running, though. Again, he's just taking the ball flat because Leinster are doing a very good job at the breakdown, slowing everything down so they actually just give it him standing still. You imagine giving him 5 yards and giving the ball. He's going to hurt people.
Into the angle of the setting sun. What a big kick this is for Gareth Steenson and for Exeter. Well, what coolness, what composure from the Exeter 10. And the 1,200 travelling supporters from Devon sense what would be an epic victory if they can get ahead of this Leinster side.
There it flies over. Do you think they may? Oh dear. Head in hands.
Ryan, it's okay.
Do you feel the Exeter supporters may have a good night in Dublin tonight if they could come away with a draw even? What about a win?
Word has reached me they had a good night last night down at Temple Bar.
Yes. Always have a good night in Temple Bar.
Well, the weekend in Dublin's hard to beat, and the Exeter fans are certainly enjoying it. And Luke Arscott enjoying his run there, getting past the first defender. And the ball cleared away by Ignacio Mieres. The Argentine is now on. And here goes Madigan with the drop and goal with the wind behind him. Oh, and it was It was O'Gara in style and panache, but not quite from the fullback.
It wasn't. It had everything but the direction. Had the length. Again, right opposite. Well, you see the ball from Mires there. Not a great kick. Received and then pulled the trigger. It's just slid to the left as we look it, to the right as he kicked it. Yeah, he's got the win, so it was the right option.
Mires with the restart. Conway to Madigan. Redden, Sexton, Conway was giving the ball away to Baxter. Good hands for the number 8. Sticking like glue to his mitts. Now big Tom Hayes with a chip. And Madigan clears. But it's Arscott. And Exeter are going to keep on coming here. Here's the Puma. Whitten on the switch. Chudley, Arscott, here's Skaysbrook. Skaysbrook to Baxter. Oh, if he'd had the pace of 10 years ago, he might have been through that gap. He's 34 now. Driven on by big Dean Mumm. All that experience. Chudley, Mieres, Nakalavuki. Chudley decides on the blind side. All the men in pink are out this way. Still time for them to be used as Leinster beaver away at the breakdown, trying to turn this ball over. It's an important ball if they can get their hands on it.
Can they do it, or they turned it over, Leinster, Jimmy, just like them. All the forwards, Exeter forwards, and they've got it.
Sexton gets it out, Nathewa. He said Nathewa. Matt Jess has covered beautifully the winger from this side. Here they come again. It would be so typical of Leinster to score now with all that European experience behind them. But look at Exeter's work there, and it is a knock-on scrummage to Leinster. I thought for a second he might give a penalty.
And there we have Tommy Hayes. I've seen him scrummage and I've seen him in the line now. I've never seen him kick the ball before. I actually think maybe Rob Baxter would have lacked his captain to keep hold of that ball. Again, they had a great turnover. Turnover ball's the best. And here they go. I mean, back on the angle. Actually, that big blue line right across the paddock. This is where they frustrate him, and then all of a sudden you can see all the forwards on the left-hand side. James Skaysbrook there, his head down. Just as well coming across, covering for Nathay. Well, coming against Nathay's kick. But again, you just got to secure the ball. You think all of a sudden, typical Leinster, you mentioned, Mark. Under the hockey, turn the ball over, and zoom up the other park, the half of the field.
Well, they made a slow start to their Heineken defence last season. Leinster down in Montpellier, they could have lost that game. It took the kick in the final moments from Johnny Sexton for them to escape from France with a draw. But Joe Schmidt will have expected his men to beat Exeter on home territory. But it seems to be raining only on one patch of the pitch, well, not all of it.
There's a beautiful rainbow, the pot of gold.
Yeah.
Let's go there. Is that a sign? A Leinster sign or an Exeter sign?
Well, Leinster, they've got their hands on that pot of gold three times so far. And of course, the Heineken Cup final in May will be held just across the way from here. There it is, the Aviva Stadium, May the 18th. Will Leinster be there?
Sure, it's raining somewhere over there on the right. So we're panning a beautiful stadium. The new Lansdowne. Anyway, back to the action. Leinster's chosen with the free kick given to go for another scrum. All the big lads are lined up to the right of the field.
I think it only rained on the forwards there, Dowie, which is somehow appropriate.
Well, they're going for a penalty here. This ball.
Redden, Sexton, Nathewa. Training ground move. screams for a penalty from 18,000 here in this RDS stadium. Leo Cullen, Dean Munn tackles him. And here's Redden, good tackle by James Hanks. His tackle count has been high in this game, the number 5 for Exeter. Now it's Jamie Heaslip. Heaslip looks for the offload, O'Driscoll comes powering in, but the ball has been knocked on, away come Exeter. Here is Ian Whitten. And the arm still out from Pascal Gozer, so Exeter know they have the advantage. Mieres. The advantage is now over, and the ball is now out.
A bit of jouet from the referee. I think Wetton would have liked the penalty given. And this is Sexton, there's the show, and if they were back on the cut, you can see the rain coming down. It's going to be very greasy out there now. And that was the pass through. Hay slipped. How many times has that worked? He slipped to O'Driscoll. It didn't on that occasion, but they're still on the 10-metre, still putting pressure on the Chiefs. A few more subs on.
There's the big fella. It's taken by Heaslip though. Sexton, and Nathewa was on his inside shoulder. Redden. Here's McFadden. Haven't seen too much of McFadden in this second half. Impressive first half. Heineke van der Merwe patched up. South African. Redden finds McFadden.
They're trying to suck Exeter into the middle and then go wide. At the moment, Exeter having none of it.
Toner. Here's Shane Jennings, and it's going to be an advantage to Leinster, and this could be the penalty that maybe wins the game for Leinster.
A bit silly, come from an offside position.
Well, Ben Moon just on the pitch, the replacement prop forward.
You can see number 18, Ben Moon. That's just stupid.
Oh dear. Oh, what a very, very clear penalty given away by the youngster.
What do you think Rob Baxter would be thinking now? There's nothing you can do about it. But I'm sure that video will be brought up. If they are to lose this game, don't do that. Yes. I don't think I need to say anything.
He's often the saviour, isn't he, Sexton? And it looks like he might be again.
Relief around the RDS. They've nudged themselves ahead. Interesting. 6 minutes to go. Ali Heifer on the radio. Rob Baxter on the right as we look. Will not be happy with Ben Moon there.
Ordering a rack for the Monday review session.
It's not a rack alarm either.
Taken by Nathewa.
A long, slow death in extra training, I think.
Redden. Good tackle by Jamie Heaslip. Still time though for Exeter. Chudley finds Carl Rimmer.
And there's that pattern again coming in field, going back at the blind side.
Again, he's got through a lot of work, hasn't he, Carl Rimmer, in that 3 shirt. Here's Mieres, now Matt Jess, he's got Nakalavuki outside. Chudley. Tommy Hayes. They've retained the ball so well in this game, the Chiefs. Chudley, Mieres, and the mistake, as you say, greasy ball, but it hasn't gone forward. And Ian Whitten gets it inside to Luke Arscott. Chudley goes in The ball goes out. Oh, whistle, penalty. Penalty to Leinster.
Off his feet. It wasn't Ben Moon again, was it? It was last step, getting the benefit of the doubt.
Looks like Chris Whitehead, maybe, who was penalised there. So Johnny Sexton taking his time here as the rain continues to drizzle down on the RDS. And as he hit another one of those boomers, which stays in play this time, though. Arscott.
Go back, free.
He got plenty of distance on that.
Wait. Time off, wait.
5 of the last 7 Heineken Cups have been won by teams from the Republic of Ireland. Munster and Leinster, obviously. And on comes Chris Budgeon, and emotional times for him and his family. Well, Rimmer goes off, 39 years of age is Chris Budgeon, corporal in the forces. Taken by Devin Toner. 3 times cap Devin Toner and Owen Redden. Here's the ball downfield, and the ball goes directly into touch. So Exeter get themselves, or get given to them, some pretty decent field position. It's been that sort of attritional day, as reflected by the claret on the Van der Merwe bandage.
Time off.
Three minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. What have they got, the Chiefs?
That's okay now?
Showed a lot of heart. Led his troops well. Tommy Hayes. Could they just pull this one out? Could they get the ball to the big one? Nakalavuki's moved back into the centre. Jess has a very little opportunity today. Oh. No is the...
Oh, they've won the ball back here. Well played. Here's Hayes. Now that is the Leinster 22. Off goes Chris Budgeon. Very popular figure down at Sandy Park. Shudley flips the ball out to the big carriers in midfield. Here's another, the big ball carrier, Cirelli Nakalavuki. And now Arscott is outside, but Brian O'Driscoll, great defensive work by the legend.
Nakalavuki attracts 3 tacklers. They know the threat that he can pose in a game. And there again, how many times has that happened? How many turnovers?
Madigan, such relief for the clearance, but it's still in play. And here comes Arscott. Good tackle there by Conway. And the ball comes out, and the ball is loose, and down goes Van der Merwe. And that could be a crucial gather by the loose head prop.
And it's on if they go wide now.
Oh, that was Muldowney coming in. The arm is out. The advantage to Leinster here. And with 2 minutes to go, it might be the decisive moment.
I'd just take the penalty here. For a knock on.
Well, the advantage is over, so it was a knock on.
Yeah.
Van der Merwe did some sumptuous work there to win the ball back for his team. Kevin McLaughlin.
No.
Leo Cullen. Quite sure what he was going to do. What he was going to do there.
Been the best part of the day, whatever he was.
If he launched it up and under, would have been interesting.
No, he's in.
Mike Ross. Rumbling, rumbling, rumbling. That'll do. Approaching the final minute. Kevin McLaughlin into Skaysbrook. Long way for Exeter to go now.
19.
And look at Exeter on the floor. Skaysbrook was one of them working in there. So too was Muldowney. And they've won the ball back. This is their last chance. And off goes Mieres. They give it a go, and the Puma runs hard at that Leinster defence. Out to Budgeon. Chudley. Skaysbrook. Here's Ian Whitten. It's looked lively in this game, the Ulsterman. Up to the halfway line. Chudley. Ben Moon looking to make up for the penalty he gave away, which helped put Leinster into the lead. Kicked by Sexton. Mieres. Matt Jess outside. Budgeon, Moon. 10 seconds remaining, an advantage here to Exeter, and they get the penalty, and they've got a chance into the breeze to escape from Dublin with a draw.
Has it got the distance? The flags have actually gone flat at the moment. If you look from our commentary box to the left, where the big screen is, the flags have just dropped a little bit. The rainbow's got brighter. Was that going to be the sign? As we said, Mieres stands up. He's kicked pretty well all season. My word. Well, it's a kick to nothing. They find it difficult to get into the 22 or get down that end anyway, so this could actually just be their just rewards and a draw. They played well enough to get a draw.
Well, no matter what happens here, Exeter deserve huge credit for the way they've played here at the RDS today. Remember, their first ever Heineken Cup match against the 3 times champions. At a place where Leinster really rarely do anything but win.
The tomahawk chop has gone quiet.
It's all about Ignacio Mieres. And Mieres, is the strike crisp enough? Is it accurate enough? The answer is no. And Ian Madigan, with huge relief, pops the ball dead. And Leinster have managed to hang on to victory here at the RDS. What a huge performance by Tom Hayes and his men. Relief for Brian O'Driscoll. The Chiefs are disconsolate, but my goodness, they can be proud.